so many doctors.
Deepika Gupta as well as Srini Gamisani, they're going to be doing the Diya lighting ceremony, and then we will hear from Sadhguru himself. A huge round of applause for Sadhguru on stage and the members of the organization committee. Thank you so much. And again, please make sure that your phones are on silent and we are respectful of everybody on stage.
No lamp, I'll try to shine my. It's a long day. Good afternoon to everybody. I said good afternoon. Well, my greetings and wishes for all of you on this Independence Day. Political freedom comes easy, but to become free from disease and fear of death is another matter. After 243 years of political freedom, well, this is a nation which has successfully managed to become the most affluent nation in the world. Let us understand the significance and the mechanics of affluence. Well, either as individuals or as a society or as a nation, we seek affluence because at the first level, affluence means a choice of nourishment. At the later level, affluence means a choice of lifestyle. So here we have a nation which has an immense choice of nourishment and a phenomenal choices of lifestyle. But still 70% of the country's population is on prescription medication. Well, as the good doctor was saying, well, most of you at the back were not listening maybe. $3 trillion in healthcare bills. I want you to understand that's larger than India's GDP. India's economy is $2.7 trillion. $3 trillion for 300 million people. If you ask me, it's a crime against humanity. Maybe this is not a good thing to say in a doctor's convention, but I'm like this, I'm known for saying unpopular things. Because medicine should not become popular. if you allow me to say this, doctor also should not become popular, health should become popular. There was a time when our concerns of health were largely infections and epidemics. Couple of centuries ago, that was our only concern. 200 years ago, who thought of diabetes? Who thought of blood pressure? Everybody thought of plague, malaria, this and that. Epidemics and infectious diseases which will take out, literally thin the population. Sometimes entire villages or towns were obliterated. So, modern medicine, as you know it today, grew up in that kind of atmosphere. And that is the general approach. If we notice a certain symptom, we know this is plague. If we notice a certain other symptom, we know this is malaria. Like this we went. So it largely became symptomatic in its approach to treatment and solutions. And well, the most significant aspect of finding solutions in that context have been the vaccinations. And many of us are sitting here alive only because we were vaccinated. Otherwise, I don't think half the population here would be alive in this hall. Hello? Now, I'm particularly saying this because right now in the United States it's become fashionable to campaign against vaccinations. They're campaigning because they were vaccinated. Well, if there is any excess in this vaccination affair, well, we can judiciously look at it. But general campaign against vaccinations as it's happening, maybe not so much in Middle America, but I see this strongly in California. Big campaigns going on against vaccinations. Well, a whole lot of us get tired of welding. We want some trouble. We want once again our children falling dead in our hands. Something to cry about. Not worth inviting that once again. So in these areas of life, in many ways, the problems of health that we get by infections or by some kind of attack from other organisms, we have largely dealt with it, thanks to the medical sciences. But today we've come to a time where most ailments that human beings suffer are, if I say this, a lot of people will not like it, but largely self-created. Maybe a more diplomatic way of saying it is lifestyle diseases. I believe your lifestyle is chosen by you, so I'm saying they're largely self-created. Self-help to disease, self-help to illness. You can call it lifestyle ailments, but essentially it's caused by ourselves to ourselves. So this dimensional shift from infectious diseases to self-inflicted ailments has happened, but the same level of dimensional shift in the way we approach health through medical sciences, I don't think it's happened to the extent it is necessary. Still, we are going at self-created ailments as we went against infectious ailments with the same kind of warlike approach. No, this needs a transformative approach. Who are you going to fight with? When I am the source of my ailment, who are you going to fight with? You can treat me as much as you want, I'll go home and manufacture my ailment. You're seeing this every day, that you can treat them, but they will go home and create a mess. or they'll go to the restaurant, or they'll go to the bar, or they will go to the back streets. They will work out their ailments in so many different ways. So this needs a transformative approach, which is not just in the hands of medical professionals, a larger involvement of the administration, the education systems, the larger society. Everything needs to get into this if we want to create a healthy society. Because whether it's individual life or a nation, to move from poverty to affluence, much hardship, so much sacrifice, endless amount of work. But when you get there, all you get is an ailment. You become affluent, you become sick. It's not fair for all the work that people do to enhance their financial capabilities in our given society. But this is what is happening, not just in America, just across the world. This is happening because there is no culture of health, there is only medical care, there is no culture of health. We are not cultivating a healthy society. This needs to happen from an early age, particularly in our education systems, our families. Otherwise, we'll keep the doctors busy. Maybe it's a good thing. I don't think so. Because none of us want to be sick. When I don't want to be sick, why would I want somebody to be sick? It's as simple as that. So, having said that, today we are looking at doctors having serious issues with themselves. One important thing, if we want to address human health, is those who address health must be symbols of health. I don't think that's true in the world right now. So, I'm hearing terrible statistics. I hear a doctor a day is committing suicide in this country. Hello, am I right? This is something like an apple a day kind of thing. A doctor a day is not good for anything. A doctor a day dying is not good for anything. I'm saying an apple a day may be good, but it sounds similar. This is terrible. I was at one of the medical universities at Yale. They were saying some terrible statistics of the medical students committing suicide. So if this is happening, we definitely need to re-examine the way we're training our doctors, what kind of processes they are going through. Because if I don't know how to keep my health, how do I tell you how to keep your health? So everything has become like it's becoming at least, like a factory assembly line, do this and this. Human health will not happen like that. Even if you're disease-free, you still may not be healthy. If one has to be healthy, there are a few things which has to fall into place within ourselves. There are many ways to look at it, more complex and sophisticated ways to look at it. But the simplest way to look at it is, because today we are talking about doctor burnout. Well, when you're down with illness or injury, a doctor is godlike. But if this doctor is on the verge of suicide, what do you do? For a man who is down with serious illness or injury, when he looks at the doctor, he doesn't look at him just as another human being. He is looking at him almost godlike. Some qualities of that you must achieve, not just knowledge, some quality also is needed. Because today there is substantial science to tell you, it's not all about chemistry, there are other dimensions to health. So, about stress, about tension, about… Even I don't like paperwork. But with the technology that is there today, what needs to be written down can be spoken and a machine will write. But at the same time, if there is no some kind of tracking of what such a large profession is doing, then it could lead to something else. People are telling me nearly 5% of the United States population is on opioid addiction, largely to prescriptions. Well, if there is no tracking at all, then medicine and drug dealing, maybe you won't be able to separate after another 100 years. Because market should not decide what we do. Market is a different animal. Medicine is a different animal. In ancient India, because all of you come from this background, I can fall back on the luxury of talking a little bit about your tradition. In ancient India, they always said three things: joy, blissfulness, peacefulness, happiness. Whatever the nature of your experience in a given moment has a chemical basis to it. Am I right, sir? I'm asking the doctors. Am I right? Has a chemical basis to it. Everything that you experience has a chemical basis to it. Or in other words, the most complex chemical factory on the planet is sitting right here. This is the most sophisticated chemical factory. The question is only, are you a great CEO or a lousy CEO? Are you a great manager of this or are you a lousy manager of this? This is all the question is. I know there is a whole pharma industry in the world which is trying to give us the needed chemicals to fix this chemical factory. But in terms of complexity and sophistication, those factories that they have is not comparable to this one. Do you agree? Only 3-4 doctors agree with me. Do you agree with me? Am I right? Because you get a very uneducated, nearly illiterate person to speak to all the doctors, then at every point I'm asking for some confirmation, please say yes or no. Now, as there is a science and technology to manage external situations and to create external situations the way we want it, today our bodies don't like the temperature in Atlanta City. So here we are, managing the climate the way we want. So this is a kind of technology to create external situations. Similarly, there is a whole science and technology to create inner climate. If you manage your inner climate the way you want, this doctor a day should not happen at all. Whether you're a doctor or an engineer or an undertaker, you should not be committing suicide. Because we are not capable of creating life, so we have no right to take it either, whether yours or somebody else's. Because we cannot create life. How do we take it then? It is a phenomenon that's happening right now. See, do not think of life as myself and yourself. Life is a phenomenon happening here in many dimensions, in the form of plants, trees, animals, worms, insects, birds, and above all, the planet itself, a life process. Well, it is much bigger than that, but at least in our understanding, the planet itself is a living phenomenon. We are just a small outcrop of that. One reason why there is so much stress, anxiety and suffering to a point of wanting to kill ourselves is, in this cosmos, nobody knows where it begins, where it ends. In this limitless cosmos, this planetary system that we call as the solar system is a minuscule, it's a tiny speck. Believe me, if tomorrow morning the entire solar system evaporates and disappears, it is not even mist in the universe, it's that small. It's just a speck. In that speck, planet Earth is a micro speck. In that micro speck, Atlanta is a super micro speck. In that super micro speck, you are a big man. This is a very serious problem. Fundamentally, we've lost context as to who we are. What is our significance here? Before you and me came here, countless number of people have come and gone. They were also smart people. Hello? They were also smart people. But where are they? All topsoil. This will also become topsoil unless your friends choose to bury you real deep, fearing you may raise from the dead. There are certain threats like this. This happened. There was a couple in Texas. Anybody from Texas? No, I'm just checking before I tell a joke, so there are not too many Texans, so. So it was their dream to go to the Holy Land, Jerusalem. But business, children's education, their marriages, their children, like this it keeps them busy, you know, how you postpone many things in your life. Like that, Holy Land got postponed and postponed and postponed. Now they were over 75 years of age, but they got an opportunity to go to the Holy Land. They went to Jerusalem, they were super excited. They walked through the streets of Jerusalem. Jerusalem is a place where every cobblestone reeks of history. They walked through the same street that Jesus had walked, and they went to the place where he was supposed to have walked upon water like this. They were absolutely enthralled. Unfortunately, the lady had a heart attack and she died. Then the man was preparing to bring the body back to Texas. The local people approached and said, see, it is not necessary for you to take this body back to Texas. This is the appropriate place to die. Holy Land, best place to die. She's done the right thing, only you are a mistake. So don't do this. Let us finish it here. And it cost only $12,000 to finish all the rituals. If you fly the body back, just the flight charges are $18,000. And then local charges in Texas, all this problem. And above all, she's died in the Holy Land, the best place. The man thought about it. And then he said, no, I'm taking her back to Texas. Then they said, see, you're very distressed, you lost your long time, you know, a wife of over 45 years. You're not thinking straight. We will do this for you, $8,000. This is a place where you can have it. Let's do it. The man thought about it and said, no, I'm taking her back to Texas. They said, see, you're an American person, that too you're from Texas, so we'll give you a super discount. $6,000, let's do it, come on, let's go. He thought about it and said, no, I'm taking her back to Texas. And they said, why? It doesn't make sense. $18,000 for the flight and local charges there, $6,000, we're doing it in the Holy Land. Then he said, in Texas, dead stay dead. You and me. Somebody out there is getting the joke very slow. You and me are a small pop-up on this planet. Countless number of people have been here before you and me. They have come and gone. Only thing is they enrich the topsoil. No trace of them anywhere. Yes. The same is true with you and me. We are here for a brief amount of time. It feels like a long time, only if you are miserable. Time is a very relative experience. Have you noticed on a particular day, you're very joyful? One day passed out like a minute. Yes or no? Another day you're a little depressed. One day feels like a eon. Because time is a very relative experience. Only miserable people have a long life. Joyful people, before you know what's happening, it's gone. Yes. For the potential that a human being carries within oneself, this is too brief a life. But that also people feel long, and when they want to shorten it further, mainly because they do not know how to manage this very complex system. If they were given the brains of an earthworm, they would not have committed suicide. They would have waited for a bird to pick them up. Now, the only problem is this, that you are given this big a brain with so much cerebral possibilities. That is what is driving people crazy, isn't it? Hello? If we remove half your brain, all of you will be peaceful. It is a solution. It is just that if you take away the possibilities, problems also will go away. Or in other words, what is a tremendous possibility, certain number of people are experiencing it as a problem. If there was no possibility, there would be no problem, isn't it? But possibility is not the problem. An unharnessed possibility seems like a problem. Right now, human problem is just this. Their own intelligence is working against them. They give it many exotic names. They call it stress, they call it anxiety, they call it… there are 72 different names for this. Essentially, your intelligence is turned against you. If your intelligence was functioning for you, I'll ask you a question, all of you must answer because I'm going to bless you. If your intelligence was working for you, would you choose right now to be blissful or miserable? Some of you didn't say anything, blessed. Because I want you to know, to be blissful or miserable, if you look at it profoundly enough, you are blissful or miserable by choice. Most human beings have not exercised their choice. See, the most significant thing about becoming human is we are not doing anything greatly different from other creatures. They are born, we are born, same way. They grow up, we grow up, same way. They eat and sleep, we eat and sleep, same way. They reproduce, we reproduce, same way. They die, we die, same way. Only thing is, they do it little more gracefully, we do it with a lot of fuss. Same things. Yes or no? Is it true, because all of you are medical professionals, somebody came and introduced themselves as a neurological, whatever, what do you call them, I'm sorry? Neurospecialist, is it? Neurologist. That means you look at the nervous system and the brain and whatever. Do you agree with me that on this planet at least, we don't know elsewhere what is the reality, at least on this planet, you have the most evolved neurological and brain system? Hello? Do you agree with me? So if we are so evolved, we must be living much more joyfully and gracefully than any other creature on this planet. Hello? But unfortunately, we are the most confused, we are the most problematic. The only species which is real trouble on this planet is you and me. So, we are not in any way displaying we are the most intelligent species on the planet. We are the dumbest idiots on the planet, if you ask me. In its own habitat, no other creature is working against itself. All animals are made like this. Stomach full, life settled. Look at you, stomach empty, only one problem, food. Stomach full, 100 problems. Because all the possibilities that a human being has within himself or herself begins to play only after survival is taken care of. When survival is in question, you're also just one more biological entity on the planet. But once survival is taken care of, being human kicks in. Now all the possibilities of being human, unfortunately, most people experience them as problems. Every possibility within you, if you leave it unharnessed, it is a problem. Right now, please tell me, what is it that human beings are suffering? Their own intelligence. Hello? This is why there was a time when other creatures were a problem to us, infections, microorganisms. We dealt with most of them largely, protected ourselves from them. But now we realize we don't need any external help, we are on self-help illness. And never before this many people were sick on the planet as it is today. Do you agree with me? Never before in the history of humanity, this many people were sick because those who had to die, died, those who lived were healthy. But today, more people are ill by their own hand than anything else from outside. So this needs to be looked at more profoundly. And a time has come. There was a time in India where every doctor was also a sage. If you come to southern India, all doctors were siddhas at one time. They were sages in their own right. That time has come once again. Every doctor needs to look at their own system and evolve themselves to a certain level of chemical balance at least. When I say chemical balance, usually people ask me, Sadhguru, a lot of changes have happened, I started doing, in engineering practices and everything, many changes have happened. But how do I know that I've come to a place where I won't fall again? So I tell them, we must give you a cobra test. Cobra test means like this. I think in the video, the last image was a king cobra. Just to tell you, a king cobra has enough venom to kill an elephant. If it bites a human being in the limb, it will give you 45 minutes to 90 minutes at the max. But if it bites you in the body, it will give you 6 to 8 minutes. But you saw I am holding it not by the head. He's just been caught, that picture. He's just been caught in the wire. I am holding halfway down. Very easily he can turn back and get me. But he won't do that. Because he is reading your chemistry. If you show little bit of anxiety, he will go for it. You don't show anything, your chemistry is well kept, then he's very comfortable. He sees you just like a tree or a piece of land or a rock or whatever. Though you're holding him, not letting him go, he's trying to go, but I'm holding him, still he will not attack because he's looking for chemical science. You should put it to a cobra test. It's a sure test. You can pass or fail. What I'm saying is, when you touch somebody, if you touch another human being, especially for medical reasons, it's extremely important how you are. Well, maybe this is completely gone out now, but there may be still some family practitioners, are they left or no? Still on. Many people feel, well, just if the family practitioner just touches them, talks to them, holds their hand, they can go, just like that. Simply because there is a tremendous power to a touch. So, if the doctor is on the verge of committing suicide tomorrow, this is not a good time to touch anybody. Because after all, we're trying to save a life. This is very important. As I said in ancient times in India, unless you're a sage, you're not allowed to be a doctor. Once again that time has come. All of you, in some way, should bring a quality within yourself, a little bit of striving and some practice within yourself, which keeps you in a certain way. It's very, very important because today most of the ailments that we're treating are lifestyle ailments, not infectious ailments. Largely they're gone. Am I right? At least 70–80% is largely lifestyle ailments, they're not infectious in any way. So once this has happened, the responsibility of you turning yourself into your sage has come to you. If you're willing, we can give you simple methods to do that. I'm sure you have many questions, but let's come to the questions. About your intelligence standing against you. The problem is this. You have been given a supercomputer. This is the most complex computer you can find on the planet. But I'm asking you, have you read the user's manual? Maybe you read the Gray's Anatomy, that's not good enough. Because you need to know how this works. You may know it from a context of handling other people. But if you simply sit or stand here, do you know what exactly is happening with your system? There is a method for that. As I said, this is what a sage meant. He knew what's happening with himself. So he tried to do something with somebody else because he knows what's happening with himself. As I said in the beginning, I've taken a lot of care to remain uneducated. Because it's not easy. From the day you were born, the moment people see a child, there are a whole lot of adults who have an itch. They have to teach something to the child that is not worked in their life. This happened very dramatically that I observed. You know, my daughter was traveling with me since she's 3.5 months of age. And I'm constantly in different families. Wherever I go, everybody wants to teach you something. So I made a rule. You can play with her, you can be with her, you can feed her,
but nobody is going to teach her anything. They said, what about ABC? What about 1, 2, 3? I said, and what about Mary had a little lamb? I said, no ABC, no 1, 2, 3, and I don't care whether Mary had a lamb or not. You leave her alone, you can play with her. Then they said, she won't even know how many fingers she has. I said, I don't really care whether she knows how many fingers she has or not, as long as she knows how to use her fingers. She thinks this is 1,000,000. What's my problem? Then I observed that because nobody taught her anything, she did not know who is adult, who is child. I also never treated her as a child, I treated her as my ego. So she grew up without knowing who is adult, who is child, and she just grew up like that by the time, because nobody taught her anything. By the time she was 18 months old, she was speaking 3 languages very fluently, because she was all ears, nobody is telling her anything. Then when she was about 12, 13 years of age, I would have sent her to school, but my schedules didn't allow me to do what I had to do with her. So I sent her to a school where there's a minimum amount of schooling. Then when she's around 13, she comes home one day and she's a little disturbed by what happened in the school that day. Then she comes home and says, you're teaching so many things to everybody, you're not telling me anything. I said, well, I'm not going to do anything unsolicited. Here you are today, sit down. And I told her this. This is all you need to know about life. You never look up to anybody. She looked at me, what about you, kind of look. Especially me. If you look up to me, you'll miss the whole aspect of who I am. At the most, you will make a picture of me and Mary in the wall. That will be of no use. You have to see me just the way I am. There is immense value to that. And never look down on anybody. Never look up to anybody, never look down on anybody. That's all. I said, that's all. This is all you have to do. Because in your mind, you're exaggerating certain things, depreciating certain things. You're not seeing things just the way they are. The moment you learn to see everything just the way it is, it becomes very simple to know what's happening within you. It becomes very simple to manage this intelligence that we call as human cerebral activity. Right now, the only thing that is driving people nuts is their own intelligence. If you want, we can experiment with you. We remove half your brain, you will see not a single thought, no tension, no anxiety, nothing. You will sit here very peaceful. So, this one thing we must do, that we learn to operate this one the way we want. My body, my mind, my emotion must happen the way I want, isn't it? People keep asking, Sadhguru, you're keeping an impossible schedule throughout the year, you're traveling. All these people these days, they're almost knocking me down to take a selfie, even the doctors. In the airport, they're knocking me down to take a selfie. You want a fallen image of a Sadhguru. With all this, you've not seen you get angry or agitated. How is this? I tell them, this is very simple. I have not given such a privilege to anybody that somebody can make me happy or unhappy, angry or agitated. These privileges I kept to myself. Should you not think of yourself? Your joy, your misery, whatever you like, you do it. You like tragedy, do it. But it must be by choice. Hello? What happens within you must be by choice. Because what happens around you is not always your choice. Yes or no? What happens around you in the world is not always by choice. We have some role to play, but not others. What happens within me must be 100% my choice. If this one thing you do, you will not complain about anything. You will do everything to the best of your ability, and that's about it in life. Thank you very much.
Hang on, please. We're done. We're going to have another session. It's going to be at 2:30. We need to give them at least 15, 20 minutes to relax and then talk to you guys again. So 2:30, I think people know which room it is. If not, just ask the people around the audience and we'll direct them.
I want to ask one.
Yeah, we're going to...
One question.
Thank you, appreciate it, thank you. It's just going to take me.
Oh, you're doing professional.
Thank you.
Yes. Oh, I see.
You know, I came from, my name is Shanmugam. I grew up in
My husband is
Chennai.
coming, okay? One
When
second.
I was a kid, I used to go in the bicycle and think one day I want to go to America. I want to go to the White House. Then I want to go to Ivy League school. When destiny brought me here, I met 7 American presidents meeting with them. It's the 8th one. But I've never seen a human being.
Thank you so much, I appreciate it.
So many people in my life. I'm a great follower. The question I have is,
is there a meditation to bring down the sugar levels or to heal diabetes? Right now, what's on your table is basically diabetes. So you immediately plunge into it. That is the basis of diabetes. So can I meditate myself out of it? No. Can I eat irresponsibly and meditate myself out of diabetes? There is a step. There is, you must understand. I don't think I can speak to this.
Alright, so ladies and gentlemen, there'll be plenty of opportunities to have a Q&A session right after this, after lunch is served. So we do want to make sure that just so that we're following our time schedule, we respect the Sadhguru's time. There will be an A314. There will be a Q&A session at A314 right after this. For those of you who did not get a chance to ask the question, you can head over there to the registration. Thank you. Let's give a huge round of applause.